Hey guys, so today I wanted to discuss being the version of yourself that you would be, that you want to be, that you desire to be. That's successful, confident, fulfilled, happy, wealthy, or abundant, whatever suits you. How many of us we are waiting for this thing to happen, or this job to happen, or this person to come along, or if once I get this amount of money, I'll be this. And we're waiting on things to happen before we allow ourselves to feel that, and to really inhabit that state of being. And it's totally backwards, because the way things manifest and come about is that we internally tune into that and become that state of being, and then it's reflected in our outer world, in our 3D. And that's just the way things work. So when we're waiting on things in the external reality to allow us to be what we want to be, then it's gonna take a long time to get there. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying you can't have something happen in the 3D and you feel a certain way. But basically, and it can happen, and it can happen occasionally, but you're giving your power away to outer circumstances, and just on the luck of the draw that something external will happen and then allow you to feel this way. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have gotten, a raise, or come into a little bit of money or significant amount of money, and then they felt that way, but it didn't last because they didn't have it. They weren't being that within. So a lot of people, and they say many people know this about lottery winners, is they'll win the lottery and then they'll, a year or two down the road be back in the same position that they were, because they didn't change internally at all. They're still coming from a lack mentality. They're still looking at the external to give them a certain feeling. And once that external is gone, then they go back to being the same person that they were. But that's giving your power away to just, like I said, just circumstances and possibilities that could happen out there. But take your power within. This is where all the power is when you decide that you're going to be this person, you're going to do this, you're going to act like this, you're going to feel like this. When you start deciding that, then that external physical reality, 3D, has to reflect that back to you in all different ways. Once you decide that, you take that power, you set that attention, I'm confident, I'm successful, I'm wealthy, I'm in love, I have lots of friends, I'm living the life of my dreams. Once you decide that and decide to inhabit that state of being and choose in everything that's happening as you go through the flow of your day, choosing to assume that it's all working out for your highest joy, and everything that happens, looking at it through the lens of the person that you want to, the state of being that you want to inhabit, looking at everything through that filter. Because once you look through everything through the confidence, abundance, everything's working out for me, my life is great, I'm living the life of my dreams. Once everything that's in your external reality that's happening, you start looking at it through that filter, then it's going to mirror that back to you. And everything is going to be working out for your greatest fulfillment, for your abundance, for your health, for your wealth, for everything. It has to reflect that back to you. But don't put yourself in a state of disempowering yourself by waiting for things to change before you become that person or inhabit that state or decide to take on that point of view. Be it first. And I get it. Some people think it's hard to feel that when I haven't experienced it much, but it really isn't. It's just a choice in deciding, hey, you can imagine how a confident person feels or how a wealthy person feels. You can imagine that. Just start to bring that into your everyday and start to act as if, how would I act if I walked into a room and I was confident? Well, I would walk in and I would just own it. I wouldn't care what anybody else had to say. I would just be myself, and I would that would be good. That would be my goal, is to be myself and to be comfortable in myself, and I would just do my own thing. But and just like if somebody gave you, or you inherited, or you won, or you created a lot of money, and someone said, what would you do with that money? I'm sure you can imagine all the different things that you'd like to do with that money. Well, that's basically, coming from a state of abundance. That's, thinking from an abundant state. So it's so simple. We just have to choose it. And yes, it might not be our default in the beginning, or we want to go back to the familiar way of thinking. That's normal. That's okay. But use your power in choosing to look at things and reside in a state of being that you want to see reflected back to you. That is your power. So choose to be this person. Choose to be in that state of being. Choose to look at everything through the eyes of the person that you desire to be. And then it will have to be reflected back to you, guys. Use your choice. Your power is in your choice, and you're stating your intention. I am successful. I am confident. I am wealthy. I am healthy. Anything that you truly desire, be that person. Think as that person, and look at everything that happens through the eyes of that person. And it will start to be reflected back in 3D circumstances. It's absolute law, guys. So, all right. I'm out. See you later.